Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey guys!
And hey, welcome to our channel. For those of you who are watching this video or new to the channel, we're known as Sci-Fi Swift. I'm Sean.
And I'm Marie.
And this is Sci-Fi Swift, and welcome to the channel for those of you who are new to this channel or for those of you who are watching. So, what we're going to be talking about in this video today is, I think it's a pretty interesting like stuff like that. Pretty interesting stuff that we're gonna be talking about in this video today. Both Marie and I discovered there's this channel that's on YouTube, and it's called Defunctland, which is this channel that basically talks about all the original attractions that used to exist at both Disney World and Universal Studios. And it talks about the history of the rides and the attractions and how long they ran for and, like, why did they close and stuff like that. Like, for instance, the first video in the series talks about the ride called the Extra Terror, extraterrestrial alien encounter.
And let me tell you, it was terrifying.
Yes, in fact, basically the original idea was that Michael Eisner, who was the person in charge of Disney at the time, he wanted to incorporate an element of, like, Alien from, like, the Ridley Scott movie, Ridley Scott's Alien, but a lot of the Disney Imagineers felt that, adding the alien element into Disney, was too frightening and thought it would be too much for kids. So they tried to make it as kid-friendly as possible.
Huh, yeah, right.
Yeah. But then it turns out that it still was pretty scary. And the ride, I believe it ran, I think according to the video, it said it ran from 1990 to 2003.
Which was the same year Lilo and Stitch came out. So because of the release of Lilo and Stitch, they changed it from the Alien Terror ride to Stitch's Great Escape, which can still be found in Disney World's Magic Kingdom today, but sadly a lot of people don't really ride it anymore.
Yeah, it is pretty sad, and it was back when Lilo and Stitch, was the thing back then, or it was trending, or was popular. Now it seems like people aren't really into Lilo and Stitch anymore, especially since it took place in Hawaii. Thanks, Moana.
Yeah.
So
another attraction that Defunctland has also talked about is the Confrontation ride, which shut down due to many technical difficulties on a daily basis. And the ride was basically, you're in like a trolley or bus, if you will, and you'd be riding through the city, and then all of a sudden Kong would find you, and he'd take you up in the air, and he'd shake it, and then try to reach out for you. Well, many times during the day, you would get stuck up there, and it would be completely pitch black dark, and that would just terrify riders. No one would want to ride it, because they knew that would happen. Now, getting stuck is not part of the ride, but that often happened a lot.
Yeah. But, like, when we watched that video, though, about Confrontation, I thought it was very, like, interesting. And I remember, like, back when I was really little, I mean, I never really rode the ride. I kind of wish I did, back in the day, because I remember I would hear, like, stories from people that would say, wow, the King Kong ride, I remember that. That was so awesome. But, us, kids of this generation, we never got to experience it. So,
but the new attraction that took Confrontation's place is the Mummy roller coaster.
Yeah, Revenge of the Mummy, which, it opened, I think it was like in 2003, I think. because it was all due to the success of the two like Mummy movies at Universal. It was The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
Which, even though none of us ever rode Confrontation, I think the Mummy coaster was its best bet because I really like it. He loves it. We ride it every time we go there.
Yeah, and we're both looking forward to riding it once we go to Universal in September, which I'm really excited about. Also, too, another thing that they talked about in that video, like there's a couple of Easter eggs within Revenge of the Mummy that shows a little bit of confrontation, where it shows like a little mini statue of a gorilla sitting somewhere in like the tomb of the mummy. Mm-hmm. So it kind of reminds you that that the King Kong ride used to be there. And also another thing too is that the tracks originally from the King Kong ride still exist within the Mummy ride today. So
another ride that we'd like to talk about, which is another ride that's been transformed into something, is the Jaws ride. Now, I myself went to Universal for the first time when I was 4 years old. And I remember riding this ride, and I remember that I didn't like it. But it was the Jaws ride.
Yeah, basically the Jaws ride, you're riding in a boat, and
oh boy.
Yeah. It's like you're basically supposed to take a tour of like the island of Amity, which, you know, that was the original place where Jaws took place.
And you're being chased by a mechanical shark, which for some unknown reason they use real shark's teeth in, which then of course damaged the boat every time it'd come up to fake bite it. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah, in fact that hang on. Excuse me. But in fact, that ride actually experienced the most problems because, like in the original like Jaws movie, the mechanical sharks had issues with coming out of the water or even wanting to work in the water, and instead, you know, the drivers of the boats would say some stuff like, imagine explosives over there, you know.
And then not actually have it be happening at the same time. Like, really?
Yeah, I know. So then, and then the original ending of the ride was that the shark would attack the boat, but then the captain of the boat, would take a gun and shoot the shark, and then the shark would bleed out, and then, you know, all the blood and guts would be filtered through a filter, I guess, that would, you know, reshoot it back out, you know. But then there was one day where a guy and his family were riding the ride, and the guy accidentally fell
into a 10-foot deep area where the sharks were being held.
Yeah, in fact, he even said that the sharks were coming right at him.
Yeah.
You know, which was pretty horrifying to him. In fact, he actually tried to sue Universal Studios just for that, but Universal Studios obviously won the case and he lost.
Now, you're probably wondering, where was the Jaws ride? Because there's no remains of it anywhere.
No.
Well, the Jaws ride was actually where the new Diagon Alley is, for all those Harry Potter fans.
Yep. So, and I think Diagon Alley is really pretty awesome, especially, you know, I mean, I love Harry Potter. I mean, I'm not too big of a fan, but I really love it. And I think Universal did a fantastic job with creating Diagon Alley and that whole Harry Potter area. I'm really looking forward to what more they bring to it, especially from what I've heard, that they're going to be adding a night show to that area, so I'll really look forward to seeing what they bring to the table with that. So, a couple other rides that no longer exist. There was another video where it had they were talking about the Back to the Future ride, which is now the Simpsons ride. And pretty much in the Back to the Future ride, you're traveling through time, basically. You're going back to the past then the present, then the future, and it was a pretty awesome ride. And I know a lot of like Back to the Future fans were really disappointed when the ride closed. But if you stand in line in The Simpsons, like, you know how like they show all those little mini Simpsons cartoons. There actually is one cartoon in particular where they actually show Doc Brown and the DeLorean, I guess, talking to one of the Simpsons characters, or he's with one of the Simpsons characters. So some remnants of the Back to the Future ride are still there, and there's also a DeLorean parked right by like the lake in that area. So, but yeah, definitely checked out Defunctland. There's like tons of like really interesting videos. We'll put a link.
We'll put the link down below.
Down below in the description. So, but anyways, since we're talking about like attractions and rides at both Disney and Universal, we're actually going to be talking more about Disney here now, because this past weekend Disney had its D23 Expo, and you're probably asking yourself, what is D23? Well, D23 is basically a Disney convention, kind of like Comic-Con or MegaCon, except it's just for Disney. And they announced what future attractions will be coming to the parks in both Disneyland California and Disney World Orlando, which, you know, we both live in Florida, so, you know, Orlando's really not that far from here. So, basically in Disneyland California, they announced that they will be creating a Marvel Land, which I kind of somehow knew that was coming because, you know, ever since Disney bought Marvel, they've been having a lot of partnerships with them and like creating all these ideas to like bring the Marvel superhero universe into Disneyland, and I'm really happy about that. And another attraction that they're bringing to Disneyland California is the Pixar Pier, where I guess you're going to be walking down this pier, this boardwalk, where you can meet all the Pixar characters and, you know, see different attractions that are based off of the Pixar films, like Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, etc. So
another land that I'm really excited about is the Toy Story Land, coming to Hollywood Studios sometime next year.
Pixar.
Yeah, speaking of Pixar.
Yeah, in fact, it has been confirmed that Toy Story Land will be opening summer of next year, and it will have attractions like such as the Slinky Dog ride, and it will also have I guess an actual Pizza Planet where you'll get to it'll be like kind of like a recreation of Pizza Planet from the Toy Story movie, and a few other rides, and you're probably wondering if they're gonna take away Toy Story Mania. Well, you can actually breathe a sigh of relief, because Toy Story Mania will still be part of Toy Story Land and still be part of Disney's Hollywood Studios.
However, what they're going to be doing is where the front entrance to Toy Story Mania is now, is they're going to put it on the back of the building. So it will be where you're entering the ride through Toy Story Land itself instead of through Hollywood Studios.
Yep, and also moving from, actually, we're still going to be talking more about Disney's Hollywood Studios, because the one thing I'm really looking forward to is Star Wars Land, which, you know, a lot of people have been talking about for a while now, and it's supposed to open in the summer of 2019, and there'll be tons of attractions there where you'll get to ride the Millennium Falcon, and there's another ride where you'll get to, it's the Resistance fighting the First Order, which, you know, sounds pretty awesome. And then you also get to meet all the characters and, you know, drink at the cantina. So, you know, for all you Star Wars fans out there, I know you're excited. I'm excited too, so I can't wait for Star Wars Land. So we're going to be moving into Epcot now, and Epcot has announced that they will be closing Ellen's Energy Ride. However, though, they will be replacing it with a Guardians of the Galaxy themed ride, which, by the way, check this out. I'm wearing my Guardians of the Galaxy t-shirt today.
Hey!
Just for this video. So, they said that the Guardians of the Galaxy ride will potentially be a roller coaster, which should be really pretty awesome. I know that in Disneyland, California, they replaced the Tower of Terror with Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and a lot of people feared that Tower of Terror, yeah, thank you, was going to close at Disney's Hollywood Studios. But for those of you who are worried about that, you can also breathe another sigh of relief, because Epcot has announced that they will be having a ride that's dedicated to the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I'll really look forward to that. And in the countries area, they will in the Paris area, they'll be adding a Ratatouille attraction like they have it over at Euro Disney right now in Disneyland Paris.
It's gonna be a mirror image of the one that they have in Euro Disney.
Yeah, it's basically you'll be riding in this little car that's like a little rat, and you'll be like looking at stuff from a Remy's point of view, which I think looks really, really cool. And so there's that, and then there was also like with Mission Space, they're doing some changes to that as well. They'll be, instead of going to Mars, they'll be going to the moon instead, and then once you're done riding the ride, there will also be a restaurant that you
sit-down restaurant.
A sit-down restaurant where you can actually eat, and it feels like you're eating in space.
That could be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be really, really awesome. And going back to Disney's Hollywood Studios, it was also announced that the Great Movie Ride will be closing this year as well, and it will be replaced by this ride called Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, which is based off of the little cartoons that they show in the hotels when you're checking in at a Disney hotel. So, but yeah, that was all the announcements that they announced for the attractions at D23, and I don't know if D23 is still going on. I think it's probably over by now.
No, it's over now. It was over yesterday, and it said that they're not going to be doing it for another 2 years. So they're not going to be doing another one until 2019, 2020. So,
that's a shame.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Man, I was looking forward to going next year.
Yeah, so was I, but
man.
so sad. But
But
it's okay. They'll be back. It's not like they're never doing it again.
Yeah, they'll be back, and but I'm definitely looking forward to the new attractions that are coming to Disney, and it's definitely a lot of changes are definitely coming, and I think it I usually there's some people that don't like change, but for me, I think it's time for a change. At Disney, some things are really getting outdated, and I think it's just time to move on and try to make things new for this new generation of visitors coming to Disney. So. And
when we go on our trip in September, since we're going to all 4 Disney parks, we will be showing you the updates of what's going on and if there's any more progress.
Yeah, and also we'll also show you where the original rides were from, like what we talked about in Defunctland. Like, for instance, the Jimmy Fallon ride that recently opened. Obviously, that used to be Twister, but long before Twister was even there, it used to be Ghostbusters. It used to be a Ghostbusters show called the Ghostbusters Spooktacular.
Yep.
Which is also another video in the Defunctland series, but we'll put the link to that channel below. So, but.
If you like this video and you want us to do a part 2, please get it to 100 likes.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe and share this video with everyone, and tell everyone about our channel, Sci-Fi Swift.
And also, we want to know what's your favorite past attraction and what's your favorite newer attraction that's already open or is going to be open soon.
Yeah, please comment below and tell us like what your favorite ride is and what was your past attraction, and what we also want to know, like what else do you want to see happen in Disney and Universal. So we would like to hear about that too.
Let us know in the comment section below.
Yep. So until then, I'm Sean.
And I'm Marie.
And we're Sci-Fi Swift, and we'll see you guys later.
See you later.
Bye. Much love.